You're now watching CCTV News, a special coverage on the National Memorial Day for the Nanjing Massacre. This is an event to remember the victims of wartime atrocity and also to remember the victims of both the massacre and also in the war of resistance against the Japanese aggression.
The public memorial ceremony of Nanjing Massacre Victims begins right now. First, play the national anthem. Let's pay silent tribute to the victims. Wreath for the deceased victims of Nanjing Massacre. The member of Political Bureau of the Central Committee of CPC, Zhao Leji, will deliver a speech. My fellow countrymen and women, comrades, friends, today we are gathered here to hold the public memorial ceremony of Nanjing Massacre Victims, to commemorate the victims of Nanjing Massacre and to commemorate all the people slaughtered by the Japanese army, and to remember the people who have contributed to the victory of the anti-Japanese war. And we're here to declare that we will remember history, we'll never forget the past, and we cherish peace, and we will try to write a new chapter of the future. We must remember history. In 1937, on December 13th, 1937, that was a chapter of history, and it marked a grave calamity of Chinese nation. The Japanese army invaded Nanjing and conducted the Nanjing Massacre. More than 300,000 people were slaughtered by the Japanese army, and the ancient city of Nanjing was destroyed, and people fled the city. That was a grave violation of international treaties and a dark page in the world history. 400 million people made concerted efforts to fight against the Japanese army. Facing with such atrocity and facing with the danger of country devastation, Chinese people made concerted efforts and swore to fight to the death. China became a place where people united together to fight against the invaders. And under the leadership of CPC and with the forces of different walks of society, Chinese people hold their head high and fought against the Japanese army with great cost of more than 30 million dead, and we won the hard war of anti-Japanese war. And we wrote a great chapter on history and also spread the spirit and the principle of commitment. We should learn from the history to warn the future generations. The 300,000 victims will always tell us what the dark chapter of the history. We are here to commemorate those victims. We want to guard that memory and guard the truth. Nanjing Massacre, in terms of legal aspect, is a fact and cannot be denied. The people whose hands are tainted by Chinese people's blood will be our enemy. Any actions to try to fabricate or change the history or try to make excuses for the atrocity will be condemned by the Chinese people and by all the people who cherish peace and justice. We will stay vigilant, swear to always remember history and pray for world peace. After invaded by foreign enemies and torn by the calamity of war, we will know more about peace and know the value of peace. We hold this ceremony not to protract hatred, but to invoke people's commitment to peace. And we also hope war can stay away from people and peace will prevail. We hold high the banner of peace, development, cooperation, and win-win. Promote a community of common destination. And we also want more and more support, understanding, and participation in the international community. We have cooperated with more than 100 countries and international organizations, built the One Belt, One Road program, built AIIB and the Silk Road Fund, and aid other developing countries and send armies to the United Nations for one purpose, that is to promote peace and common prosperity. The people who value virtue and peace will survive. Chinese people will stay committed to safeguarding peace, justice, and the victory of World War II with people from other countries, and stay on the path of peaceful development, advocate peace development. If the country is weak and poor, people will suffer. If the country is prosper, and the country will benefit. So the prosperity of our country is always the guarantee for every Chinese person's development. So here we are here to pay our condolences to the victims, to the heroes, and led by the CPC, we have realized the goal of becoming strong and prosper, and we also ended the destiny when we were pressed and when we were invaded by other countries, and we also wrote a new chapter of development, and we're working towards great national rejuvenation. Today's China has become the second largest economy in the world, and our comprehensive national strength and international status have improved. The Chinese nation is standing proud among other countries in the world. We need to stay committed to the socialist society with Chinese characteristics and be confident with our culture, with our civilization, and always follow the principles of the socialist path. My country fellow men and women, comrades, friends, we need to always remember the sad history and fulfill the great dream of national rejuvenation. We're at a critical juncture of history. right now. To realize a relatively well-off society is a dream of all Chinese people, and this dream is about to be realized. National rejuvenation is the dream of Chinese people generation after generation, and we have been approaching this dream closer than ever. And we need to have the bigger picture in mind, the core values in mind, and unite towards the CPC led by Xi Jinping, and plan the comprehensive development plan and implement the 4 development principles, implement innovative, green, open, and shared development, advocate the patriotism and the anti-war spirit. Always remember our original dream while forging ahead. When we are realizing the 200-year dreams and realizing the great Chinese dream of national rejuvenation, we can write a new great chapter in history.
Now, the
junior representatives of Nanjing City will recite the Peace Declaration. The torrential Yangtze River runs through the great city of Nanjing. The fragrance of blossoms on the Zhongshan mountain spreads across generations. In 1937, the calamity began, and on December 13th, the ancient Nanjing city fell in the hands of enemies, and the Japanese invaders looted, murdered millions of people. The corpses were littered around the country field, and the Yangtze River were tainted by the blood. More than 300,000 people's lives were taken brutally by Japanese army, and the 6 weeks of hell were the lament of the country were remembered today. The whole world was in shock. 9 continents are in condolences. And plum blossoms were blossoming against winter. This tragedy is cast a spell over our civilization. And when the country is poor and weak, we're humiliated, and trouble inside outside the country pushed our country to the brink of fall. And now reform and opening up will lead to the prosperity of the country. Let the history be the lesson to all of us. And troubles in history will inspire prosperity of the future. It has been more than 79 years, and our lives continue while we remember the history. The 2016 National Public Memorial Ceremony, and the ceremony, people from home and abroad are gathered here. They lay wreath to express their condolence in solemn environment, and rewrite a chapter of peace together. We believe that justice will always prevail, and peace will lead to prosperity. Peaceful development remains the theme of our time. National rejuvenation will remain the dream of generations. And history will always be our lesson. We should build on past successes and never forget history. Build on past successes and never forget history. Never forget history.